Hi, everyone. Welcome to GEG's West Virginia launch. We are so excited to be launching this new technology integration group with you for the state of West Virginia. Today, we're going to be presenting a topic for our teachers, our staff, our administrators to get us ready to go back to school. And we have some special guests with us today as well. So welcome to our special guests. First off, we have Stephanie Rothstein, and May was going to be with us today, but I think that Stephanie, you have a message from May that she was unable to be here in attendance today.
Yeah. May sends her best wishes, her joy for the launch of West Virginia. Yeah, she got called away, being at Google. Sometimes that is out of her control, but she just wanted to let everybody know that she's so sorry that she can't be here in person, but she's here in spirit. So, hopefully I'll do her proud, and I'll take on my part. But I'm wishing her, I'm bringing her hello and good vibes for the start of your West Virginia launch here.
Thank you so much. And Stephanie knows obviously all about GEGs because she's one of the founding members of Global GEG. So I know we've put a lot of publications out there, a lot of posts on, join GEG West Virginia and let's get connected. But she's going to really get us started and talk to you today about what exactly is a GEG, what is the purpose of that, and, where we see this going in the future. Thanks, Stephanie.
No problem. Thank you so much. Oh, what a lovely beginning. Thank you for having me, by the way. And for everyone else, I'm Stephanie Rothstein, as Tina mentioned. And I am from California. I am a local GEG leader as well for Northern California. And I am lucky enough to be one of the 6 founding members of Global GEG. So you are here to be a part of the launch of West Virginia's GEG, which is amazing. And essentially a GEG is a Google educator group, and it's all about finding people in your local region who you can connect with, learn from, and grow with. And there are many ways that you can do that right now. Most of us are doing that virtually, but it's all about figuring out what you need. And then the role of Global GEG, we have come in to help support all of the local GEGs in trying to really hone in on what you need and any professional development that maybe GEGs need, and helping to guide people in getting something like this started and supporting you in that, but also then pooling our resources and helping and providing some large-scale professional development. And so it really is a balance, because we want people to come to the local, and then if there's something that we can offer that maybe a local is unable to, or that we can support a local in doing, then you can come to Global and we will be there for you. And so we've been putting out professional development all summer long here in the US, I should say summer for the US, but we've been putting it out worldwide. We had a boot camp series and other things that were really helpful. And it was with the power of having lots of people from all around the world to help. So Global's goal is to help amplify the local voices, as well as helping to pool resources together. And if you are trying to figure out what to do, if you're not from West Virginia, or where to go, or you're trying to figure all of that out, the global or the GEG communities are growing all around the world. There has been a huge uptick in the ones in the United States recently, and that's been super exciting, as well as launching ones all over beyond the US. I was just saying that because we're West Virginia here. But if you're wondering, this is on the Google for Education page, and this is all about where all of the GEGs are, and you can start to see that. So if you're popping in here to see how one is going and how it started, and you don't have one in your local region, you can check on this map. But if you're here because you're proud to be part of West Virginia, then you can then find yourself here on this map, and it's an exciting place to be. And then the whole goal is that we continue to help and support one another. So I can learn as a Northern California GEG leader what you're doing, and you can learn from me, and we can just help to make all of our communities that much better. And that's the hope, is that we inspire each other to want to grow even more, and that no matter where you begin, a GEG is here to help support you. So if you're really familiar with Google tools, maybe you'll come on here and present. If you are not, then you have people here to support you. And if you're anywhere in between, you're here to help inspire growth and inspire people to take on doing things that are new and exciting, and also just supporting what's already been there that's been going really well and learning from each other. I think that's all for me. And so without further ado, introducing your new GEG West Virginia team, and I will let them take it away. Thank you for having me at the very start. If there's anything else, you are more than welcome to reach out. You do have a local new mentor, Robin Larrabee, who is in South Florida. So I am always happy to help you as well, though, and anybody on the global team would be too.
Thanks so much, Steph. We're so glad to have you. Thanks for popping in. Take care and stick around in no time. Thank you. Okay, guys, it is time to introduce your GEG team. The three of us have been working really hard to make this group happen for you all. Really, the idea here is that we want this to be for educators, by educators, not always led by the three of us. And I think Stephanie said it best, you know, using the educators in our state to showcase what we know to learn from each other. So, like she said, without further ado, let's go ahead and do our introductions. I'm sure that if you're tuning in and you're from the state of West Virginia, we're so lucky to have such great connections with each other. I feel like a lot of people have reached out about this group and that we've contacted. We somehow have crossed paths at some point, you know, at a conference. And so I feel like we all kind of know each other. But I'm Tina Heim. I am a technology integration specialist, and I've been an educator for 19 years. I just recently became a Google certified trainer, so I'm really excited to have that. And I'm really, really honored that Stephanie nominated me to be the GEG leader for the state of West Virginia. So we formed a team, got the ball rolling. And so the next member of our team, one of our captains, is Nellie Cottle.
Hi, I'm Nellie Cottle. I have been teaching for about 16 years in West Virginia. I'm certified multi-subject K-6 and 5-9 science, and I've taught middle school science. I've taught first grade for about 10 years. I taught third grade. I've taught middle school music, and this is my 4th year as a technology integration specialist. I'm in southern West Virginia in Monroe County, very small rural county, but we are lucky to have a great technology initiative in our county with one-to-one Chromebooks and all the Google tools. So I really enjoy working with educators and students and helping them with the possibilities that are available to them there. So that's really exciting, and I look forward to continuing to grow in my knowledge. I recently got the level 1 certified educator, and I'm looking forward to getting level 2 and trainer and coach. So it is possible if you use these products even a little bit, you should be able to get your level 1 certification. We'll talk to you all about that some more later on in the broadcast, but yeah, I'm excited to be a part of this GEG for West Virginia and look forward to working with everybody.
Thanks, Nellie. We're excited to have you too. You're such a great resource for the educators in West Virginia. Okay, next up we have Josh Ratliff. If I can get my slides to go. There we go. Oh, back one. All right, there we go. Go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, hi everybody. Gosh, I am so excited to do this. When I first started to see these pieces come together, I have been so ecstatic about the process of us forming a very organic and very needed community of educators here in West Virginia. And just a little bit about me, I cut my teeth in Cabell County schools teaching math. Had an opportunity to take a technology integration specialist position for a few years in Cabell County before going to the Department of Ed, where Tina and I worked together to facilitate the technology integration specialist program at the state level for a number of years. And just recently in last June, I took a new position. It's the first position I ever had that's outside of the school district. So I'm still trying to adjust to that a little bit, but I work for an organization called Trinity 3, based out of the Twin Cities in Minnesota. and still do very much the same thing that I feel like I'm called to do, and that is help develop teachers to be the very best that they can be and be effective with technology. And I'm coming to you today from Bismarck, North Dakota, where I'm here to do some training, and just thrilled to death to be part of the process here.
Thanks, Josh. I don't know if anybody else got the same kind of audio that I did, but you sounded a little bit like a munchkin, and it was catching up with your voice. So I'm glad you said you're at the airport, you're traveling, you're having some maybe, sound issues, but it was really entertaining, actually.
All right, good. That's what I'm good for.
Okay, so actually, we're here today, obviously, to kick off GEG West Virginia, and also to share some really useful back-to-school tips that we can get our year started. We all have a very new way of starting the school year. Around the state, each county has a different plan. Some are similar, but we, in most cases, we have some kind of virtual plan and in-school plan, and we're all trying to figure that out. So what we tried to do for you was put some resources together that could be fun and engaging, and a way that we can get the year kicked off for our students in any aspect. And then we're going to touch base on some Google tools as well that you can learn from to get some certifications with Google. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on some of our first tips for back to school. As a longtime elementary school teacher, I loved putting up my bulletin boards at the beginning of the year. That's something that I, felt was it made a nice aesthetic in the classroom, and the students would use them interactively. And so now that we have, sometimes half of our students are virtual, I'm going to go ahead and showcase to you how you can make a digital bulletin board for your students. We all like icebreakers at the beginning of the year, get to know you activities. It's super important for us to get to know our students. So we're going to go through some digital ways that you can do that as well. Okay. So the first piece of information that I wanted to share with you was the digital bulletin boards. And obviously, just like the in-classroom bulletin boards, using it to display upcoming information in a Google slide, announcements, putting student awards on an interactive bulletin board. Lots of our schools have counselors have bulletin boards put up in the school with information and resources, for social and emotional learning for our students. And of course, just those fun little interactive things, calendars and birthdays and all those events, field trips or virtual field trips that we could post to a digital bulletin board for our students as well. And so I went ahead and just gave you an example of what that might look like. This slide was pulled from SlidesGo. There's a credit at the end that you can take a look at, and it's free. And so I went ahead and just put in some pieces of what might a digital bulletin board look like. This one contains a newspaper article from the New York Times for a current event. And something really cool that the New York Times does is that they give the front page of their newspaper image. So you could post that to a digital bulletin board, and then you can make that a clickable link, and it will link right out to the New York Times if your internet is fast enough for that to happen. So that is what one way you can use it. Articles such as from the Teen Tribune, post a picture, link it to an article. The thing I love about this website is that you can toggle between the Lexile levels for these articles, which are current written articles. So based on the level that your student is, they can toggle themselves, or you can set that for them. And then, of course, upcoming reminders, links, and happy birthday, Josh. It's not Josh's birthday, but I thought I'd throw him in there since it's actually the nearest one in September. But that's just one fun way that you can use a digital bulletin board, something that the kids are familiar with, even though they're not physically in the classroom. If they're a virtual student, they can still go to a bulletin board and see kind of some of the same things that they would have seen. And then next up, one of the tried and true things that we all try to do with our students at the beginning of the year is to do some get to know you activities, whether it be through paper pencil or, interactions. So being digital or even in person, here are some other fun ways if you've never seen to use with your students. I'm going to make this slide link available on our GEG website, and we'll show you where to go to get that at the end, because all of these links are clickable out to some activities. But Kahoot has some great resources on back to school icebreakers. They have different icebreakers that you can actually take the template for and put into your Kahoots already, and I've done that with one of my activities, so I've linked out to that for you all. Flipgrid, love it. Student feedback or engagement or get to know you activities with Flipgrid videos. So they have remote learning ideas. They have this wonderful chart, no matter what grade you're teaching, what you can use a Flipgrid for back to school ideas or remote learning. Some of these are really fun. They have them already ready to go, and you can copy and paste that and make it a private Flipgrid for your students for those icebreakers. And then a tried and true one is a Google form. Google Forms that help you to get to know your students. I really like this freebie here where the students check in at the beginning of the week, and they can let you know how they're feeling about virtual learning, if they were able to find all their assignments for the week, just to get a little bit of feedback and to check in with them on a more personal level that you couldn't do if you aren't in person. Now, to take that one step further for an idea for icebreakers or get to know you activities, I took, jumped the gun there. I took one of the slides from Slidesmania. If you have not seen the Slidesmania website, this is actually what our presentation is through. She creates slides for educators and all kinds of presentations that are free for you to download, not to sell or to reproduce for anything other than free use in education. And so I took one of her slide templates and I made it into a back to school kind of like a choice board, where the tickets click out to different activities. So we have this linking to a Meet Your Teacher slide. And so each one of these is linked to some kind of get to know you activity, like the Flipgrid I showed you. The Meet Your Classmates one, I popped in a digital classroom for our students to get to know each other. And in this digital classroom, is a simple slide with a free background, and I linked the names out to a project that I would have my students do. One of those typical get to know you posters that students would do in primary elementary grades, but they're going to be doing it digitally. It's a nice way to get our students to get to know each other. If they're not face to face, or even if they are, we can pop them all into a digital classroom so that they can have a little bit more interaction with each other. Some of the other ones in here where I think this one actually goes out to the template itself, where the students would go in and then fill in that information on the All About Me slide. And I have credits to the designer of this. Again, I pulled this. This is a free resource. It's all about being resourceful. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Somebody already has it out there, and they've put it out for teachers to use, and it's free. That's something that we can use to help each other. Go ahead and grab those and use those in your classroom. And some other ideas were the Kahoot activity. I took one of those free back to school activities, and it's a would you rather activity for your students to play. You can assign those individually, or you can assign those to all be played at the same time. Great icebreakers for your students. So that is another way that you can use icebreakers and get to know you activities in your virtual classroom. And it doesn't have to be just in your virtual classroom. This can be done in conjunction to your students that are already in front of you as well. And if some of you are teaching a blended classroom, it's just a better way for them to get to know each other. And I believe we have Nellie, who is going to then talk to you about some next steps. So once we get into the classroom and we get through all the little pieces of getting to know everyone and to filling out our forms and getting acquainted and getting to know our students and our feelings about virtual versus in school, the next really crucial piece is teaching our students how to be great digital citizens. And so Nellie has some really awesome information for you on that topic. Take it away, Nellie.
Hi, everybody. About 4 topics I'm going to go over real quickly with you. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Google Teacher Center. If you're not familiar with it, I'm going to show you a little bit and recommend that you check that out because it is full of great resources for teachers who use Google tools in the classroom. Also, there is a Google education site called Teach from Anywhere that has some more great resources. Then I'm also going to talk to you about digital citizenship and Google's Be Internet Awesome curriculum. And I want to wrap it up at the end with a little note about a new coding program that Google has called Grasshopper. So let's start with Google Teacher Center. Tina's advancing the slides. Tina. There you go. Thanks. Google for Education Teacher Center has a wide variety of resources and topics such as distance learning, Google Apps, product training, and professional development. There's resources for sites, docs. I'm going to go on to the next slide, and I'm going to show you a little bit what that looks like in a screenshot. So let's go on to the next slide. Tina, go on to the next slide. There you go. Thanks. Her internet might be a little bit slow. Okay, so there's a little screenshot that you can see for the Google for Education Teacher Center. It's a place where you can find free resources and technology tools made for teachers. Obviously, it says that. Up at the top beside Teacher Center, there's some tabs, and those are training courses, product guides for everything, G Suite, Google Tools, Docs, Slides, Forms, Meets. Then it talks about at the tabs at the top, there's also certification and programs. So that would be a place where you would go to learn more about getting your level 1, level 2, etc. And then under the resources tab, which is the second to the last tab at the top, that's where you're going to find professional development, lesson ideas and materials, more product training, information about distance learning, and more. And then the last tab up there is communities, and that's a tab that you would click on to find a GEG, such as our one that we've just started, the Global Google Educator Group for West Virginia. At the bottom where it says refine by, it's going to have audience and resource type. So those are little drop-down menus that you can choose whether you want to refine by the audience, such as admin, IT, early years, parents, primary classroom or secondary classroom, special needs, or teachers. The resource types that you can refine by are your courses, whether it's a document, whether it's a lesson plan, a PDF, a podcast, a site, a template, a video. And also under that drop down is one called Classroom Ready. So if you just want something that's classroom ready to go, really easy to use in the classroom, there's resources that you can select that are just classroom ready resources. So this is another good site that I recommend you check out to kind of help guide you through all the Google tools that are available. So let's go on to the next slide. Teach from Anywhere is one of the tabs that's available, or resources that's available on the Google Teacher Center. And if you are on the Teach from Anywhere site, the top's going to look like this screenshot, but if you scroll down, you're going to have categories such as how to teach remotely, how to do video calls, how to manage a virtual classroom, how to make lessons accessible to all students, how to keep students engaged, and how to keep in touch with other teachers. There are about 4 lessons. There's about 4 tutorials. There are tutorials for each of these topics. There's about 4 different tutorials, depending on what Google tool you're using to teach remotely, or what Google tool you're using for managing a virtual classroom. So this site, Teach From Anywhere, is full of tutorials. So if you're looking for tutorials, this is a great place to go. Okay, next slide. All right, in the next slide, we're going to talk about digital citizenship. This is a really great, important topic. We're all responsible for helping our students learn the fundamentals of digital citizenship and internet safety. If you've been in a school with any type of technology, especially one-to-one, you'll see that students often abuse technology privileges, and maybe they don't know the rules. They don't understand what's appropriate and what's not. So this is a very important thing that we integrate into our curriculum. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide. In the next slide, you're going to see the topics. Okay, so Google's digital citizenship curriculum is called Be Internet Awesome. A great name, Be Internet Awesome. There's 5 core concepts in this curriculum. Be smart, share with care. Be alert, don't fall for fake. Be strong, secure your secrets. Be kind, because it's cool to be kind. And be brave, when in doubt, talk it out. On the next slide, you're going to see more details about each of those 5 core concepts. So it just goes into a little more detail. So for SMART, we have things like creating and managing a positive reputation, respecting privacy and the boundaries of others, understanding and managing your digital footprint, and daring to ask a person you trust with a sticky situation. Be alert, don't fall for fake. Not everything online is true. How phishing works and why it's a threat, recognizing fake offers, prizes, and online scams. Being strong, securing your secrets, why privacy matters, how to create strong passwords, and other tools and settings that protect against hackers and threats. Be kind, because it's cool to be kind. We define what being positive means and what it looks like. We lead with positivity in online communications and identify situations in which a trusted adult should be contacted. And that leads us into be brave. When in doubt, talk it out. What types of situations call for being brave? Talking to a trusted adult and what options they have for being brave and why talking to a trusted adult is important. So we have our digital citizenship, we have our online safety, and we have our cyberbullying all wrapped up into that. So if that's something you're required to do at the beginning of the year, and you also want to integrate it throughout the year, this is a great resource. I want to talk about one more thing on this category, and that is Interland. So on the next slide, you're going to see Interland. Oh, sorry. Before I get to that, the Be Internet Awesome curriculum has family resources, like a family guide, internet tips, the family pledge, the coloring book, the teacher resources, the curriculum and lesson plans, coloring sheets, printable activities, Internet Awesome tips, ready to teach Google Slides with interactive Pear Deck, lesson poster, and Interland. Now, Interland is something that I've done with students and they love. It's an online adventure that puts the key lessons of digital safety into a hands-on practice with the 4 challenging games. One more slide. And so in the next slide, you're going to see Interland has 4 lands that the students go through. They do challenges, they answer questions about things they've learned to kind of test their knowledge. So Mindful Mountain is about being cyber smart and sharing with care. Kind Kingdom is being cyber kind because it's cool to be kind. Tower of Treasure is being cyber strong and securing your secrets. And Reality River is being cyber alert and not falling for fake. So those are the 4 lands that they are able to explore in this really cool interactive game adventure with great graphics and cool characters. So they love that. Okay, the next thing that we're gonna talk about is, real quick, I'm going to finish up with a quick mention of Google's Grasshopper. Now, Grasshopper is beginning coding lessons, but I don't think that it would be appropriate for most of your, like, say, kindergarten, first, second graders, unless they're already a little advanced in coding. More so for your middle school and high school up through adult. It is quick, easy, fun lessons. You can use it on Android or iOS or all web browsers. It does teach JavaScript and the fundamentals of computer science, all the way up through making websites and apps. So if you've used code.org, which I have a lot, and my students really enjoy it, code.org, and lots of other coding lessons and resources out there, definitely add this to your list and check it out. It's called Grasshopper, Google's Grasshopper, and so I recommend you check it out and see if it's something that would be good for your students. Okay, I'm going to pass it off to Josh. Josh Ratliff, you are up next.
Awesome. Good job, Nellie. Thank you very much. I am thrilled to death to share a few things that I'm so passionate about. Go ahead and hit me with the next slide, Tina. I'm going to talk about Google certifications. Everybody who is fortunate enough to be given the responsibility to educate children should have a level 1 and a level 2 certification. These tools just prove that you know your stuff when it comes to Google products. So if you're using Classroom and Docs and Google Search and maybe YouTube, and I know you are, the Google Level 1 and Level 2 certifications, those are for you. If you are responsible for training one-to-many, so maybe you're in a role of like a principal or a technology integration specialist, maybe you're an instructional coach, something like that, and you hold professional learning experiences regularly, one-to-many, you should consider doing a Google certified trainer. Now, for trainer, you have to have your level 1 and your level 2, but then you can push the envelope a little bit further. You can demonstrate that some of your training styles, you can demonstrate your content knowledge and your readiness for trainer, and then you take a little assessment, you put together a little portfolio, submit it to Google, and you can be a Google certified trainer. If you are in a situation where you are an educational thought leader and you are leading initiatives and innovation and changes in your educational community, Google Certified Innovator might be for you. So those 4 have been around for a little while. They're pretty popular. Go ahead and hit me with the next slide, Tina. This is a new one I'm so pumped about. I cannot wait to actually get started on this one for myself. It's a Google Certified Coach. This is what I feel like a lot of us in West Virginia do. A lot of the TIS is kind of built around this coaching model where we're going in, we're doing a little co-teaching, we're doing a little modeling for teachers. We're working more so one-on-one with educators. Google Certified Coach is the perfect certification for you. It's like trainer in the sense that you do have to have your level 1 and your level 2, but then you can go through a process where you learn Google's 5-step coaching model, and you put that into practice by putting together a portfolio and from coaching students. You submit that to Google for your Google Certified Coach badge, and it's brand new. I'm about to get after it in the fall. I'm going to start the process to earn my coach badge. Next slide, Tina. If you are in a situation where you are you're thinking, yeah, I think I do want to start my level 1, or I want to go, I've got my level 1, I think I'm going to start my level 2. This website here that we put on as a clickable link for you will take you to the page where you can learn more about the certifications, get the study material for them, and start pursuing your certifications. Here's the great thing about being part of a local GEG is you are not in this alone. That's what this community is about. And I know Nellie just picked up level 1, and Tina was just completed the Google Certified Trainer process. And guess what? We were all calling on each other and saying, man, what did you think when you were studying this? What do I need to maybe emphasize this a little bit more? Did you have a lot of questions around this? And, the certification exams probably feel a little bit like our students do when they're doing end of year exams. There's a little bit of pressure there to make sure that you pass and get it right. And so that kind of healthy growth is, I think, a very good thing. And I think it's wonderful that we have a GEG that we can kind of call on and lean on each other's expertise to help each other get through these certifications and add a little bit of street cred to what we do. The last thing, Tina, if you want to advance that slide for me, I want to share this this thing I just found out about. It may have been around for a little while. I don't know. It's brand new to me, and I saw it and I was like, yes, teachers need to know more about this. It's Google's Junior Training Series. What this program is intended to do is provide a little bit of tech help, a little bit of tech support to our students and families. So kiddo is issued a brand new Chromebook. There will be a video on there of how to care for that Chromebook. What are the processes? How do I carry it around? How often should I charge it? How should I store it in my book bag? All those kinds of questions can be answered in the form of a very short, very concise video. Other topics that they get into: how do I log into my Chromebook? How do I navigate Google Classroom? Sure, we can go create a lot of that material ourselves if we need to. But when there's very high quality material produced in the form of this Google Junior Training Series, you might as well take a look at it before going out and creating your own. Tina, do you want to jump back in and kind of wrap us up?
Yeah, and Josh, I just want to add to that. It is brand new, so you're not.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I was hoping that I wasn't just coming in late to this party.
No. So this actually, I feel like it was just really publicized maybe a couple weeks ago or maybe even a week ago. So global GEG leaders came together to create this series. And yeah, they're like short snippet videos, 30 seconds a minute. And it just covers topics for your kids. You know, I was talking about this recently and thinking how awesome this idea is, because there are so many training videos out there for educators. You know, so many how-tos for educators, how to add your students to this, or how to, you know, make this Google slide. And these are little mini how-tos for the students and families. And it's such a nice spin that they have, you know, some little mini tutorials to help them through, you know, this huge transition that a lot of our schools and students are going through with virtual learning. There was a lot of information coming at everybody really fast, I know, and you know, today wasn't really a specific detailed training. We wanted to put out some ideas to get your year started, some resources that you can go to, and we want that to continue throughout the year and throughout this group. So really, what we would love to see in this group is that really it's in your hands. You know, we want you to share out your ideas, share back to school ideas with us and the group itself. And so how can you do that? Well, joining West Virginia's GEG is super simple. You know, a group like this is just like everything else with Google, free resources, you know, free groups, free to join any of the discussion. So the GEG group discussion, this is going to be a clickable link through this presentation, which we'll make available on our website. We'll put it on social media as well. The group just asks permissions for you to join, and we have discussions going on in there. Or you can join on Facebook if that's your platform that you're comfortable with, and that's an open group. It's not a private group. We have a Twitter account at GEG West Virginia that's getting a little bit more active as word gets out. Hashtag GEG West Virginia and any of the posts you want to make with your back to school ideas. And then our website, which is just up and running because we are brand spanking new. So we're hoping to put your ideas on that website and get as many of you involved as possible, because really, like I said at the beginning, this is a group for teachers by teachers. And so, you know, as we move forward with this group and do presentations in the coming future, hopefully once a month, we don't want it to be just us three. You know, we're coordinating the group, but it's really about West Virginia sharing out best practices with each other. So if you are, you know, interested in doing that, you have a really great idea, you know, reach out to one of us, any one of us, and we would love to have you, you know, be a presenter for the next upcoming series. We don't have dates for that yet. We are all in the same boat, but we all start back to school on Monday, the 24th. And I know that, you know, there's a lot of things up in the air. So be watching on social media, watching the website, going to the discussion group, and we'll be posting out dates and maybe seeking maybe a topic even that you might want to submit a presentation for. Either of you two have anything more to add to that?
I was just going to clarify the Twitter hashtag is GEG West Virginia.
Oh, there's it's not just W. We're WV.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I was looking at that.
Small detail.
Do you want it spelled out?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Can't believe I missed that. I'm so detailed.
No, I'm going to fix it up right now.
I'm going to fix that before I put the slides link out. Thank you.
Okay.
Anything
else?
Thank
you, everybody who joined or anybody who's watching the recording. We look forward to working with everybody in West Virginia or beyond who's using these Google tools, who would like to connect with us. And we look forward to connecting with you and doing more professional development, discussions, networking. So if you are interested in certification or how to use different Google tools in your classroom, this is going to be a great place where we can work together on that. So I look forward to being a part of this group in the future.
And please follow Global GEG as well. All of the GEGs across the states have amazing resources. And just to kind of, piggyback off of what Nellie said, we're going to use Google tools, but not only Google tools, as you can see today. I reached out to different websites like Kahoot and Flipgrid. So there are other resources that we're going to be using that do integrate with Google Classroom, or Google Slides, but it's not only Google specific. So don't worry about that if that's something that you feel like, I don't have, G Suite for Education account. All of this stuff is applicable across, any platform that you're using as well. And yes, again, thank you so much. Stay tuned on our social media platforms for the next GEG live training, live chats on Twitter or Facebook, and some digital meetups that we're going to be planning. We look forward to connecting with you all and you all connecting with each other as well. Have a good night, guys. Bye.
Bye.